Hi, everybody. I think we're going to kick off. Great. So, hi. My name is Dominic. I lead up the SC Ventures team here in Hong Kong. For those of you who don't know, SC Ventures is the venture innovation arm of Standard Chartered Bank. And today, we're here to speak with our partners, Sandbox. I'm going to let them give a quick introduction. So. Go ahead, Eric.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you for having me today for to give us this opportunity to share more about Sandbox to you guys. So I'm Eric from the Sandbox Greater China team. So I'm the head of growth of Greater China area. So aiming to bring a lot of partnership and also to introduce more about Sandbox to everyone. So happy to see you guys today.
Hi guys, this is Bruce. Great to be here. I'm the account manager of the Sandbox in the Greater China region, and I'm responsible for account management in the region, like including portfolio, like financial institutions, F&B, and etc., and hotel management, etc. Thank you.
Great, thanks guys. So I guess just to add some context, Sandbox has been very important for us in our initial experiments within Metaverse. Last year, I think Metaverse went from what was probably slightly a fringe topic that was discussed with gamers and maybe guys living in the basements of their parents' house, to becoming a real corporate a talking point, right? And it was at the end of last year, a lot of our clients started coming to us and saying, what's your view of the metaverse? How's the metaverse going to impact business models? What do you think about finance in the metaverse? And then, of course, we got this big plethora of analysts writing on metaverse saying, $13 trillion opportunity, 8 billion. I mean, the numbers, they're all over the place, right? So for us, with high conviction, we felt that it's a big opportunity. What those numbers are, debatable, but it is a big opportunity. And we also, from a high conviction standpoint, felt that the only way we'd be able to support those clients that were talking about metaverse was for us to really deeply understand it, so that we could properly risk manage and support those clients in this new space. So the only way we could understand it was to build ourselves. Reading reports doesn't quite get you there. And that was really the beginning of our journey. We purchased some space in Sandbox in March, which we were super excited about. Great learning for the bank. First time the bank had ever purchased an NFT or held an NFT. So a lot of learning there. And then we built this space, which you can kind of see, I guess, on that screen. And we've been doing that the past few months. So that's really been our journey. And these guys have been front and center of that, providing learnings, providing the actual space. So initially, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tom.
So look, let's kick off. But that was a little context. So I guess it'd be really interesting for the team, since you guys live and breathe this, way more so than we do. It'd be interesting to hear kind of what you think the future trends in Web3 and that creator economy look like.
Right.
You go first. You go first.
Okay. Right. So, first of all, thank you, Dominic. This is the teaser video that of our co-creation between the Sandbox and the Standard Chartered Bank. It's a very exciting, very interesting game experience on the Sandbox. It's our pleasure to have been working with you all. So in terms of Web3 development, we believe that by leveraging the Web3 technology, the blockchain technology, it offers you a digital ownership of digital assets, as well as an online identity in the Web3 arena, so that in terms of corporations, they can reach some audience that cannot be reached before in terms of traditional media channels, like televisions, like some offline channels. But now, corporations and different brands, they are really very creative. They have a very creative mindset that they can open up some additional channels, like in terms of metaverse creation, in terms of some social media campaigns, and leveraging both sides to reach some existing customer as well as some new customers. So we believe that the future trend of Web3 is to merging some Web2 traditional tools, and then by leveraging some blockchain technology, AI technology, and some metaverse technology, then we can reach some new audiences, or new audience in the near future.
Actually, let me put more supplement into it. So talking about the creator economy, actually this is a very important items including into the Web3 area. So what Sandbox providing is a complete open development environment for people to get started with their own creations. And all the I would say all the IP rights, copyrights, and any kind of they own everything about from their creations. So we kind of enable creator to explore the possibility of life in some new way, following their imagination and publishing new experience. So the fundamental goal of Sandbox is to be a place that people not just only have fun, but they can also contribute into other projects and also create their own project. So this is what we are aiming to do for the open metaverse area.
Great, thanks a lot, guys. I mean, look, I obviously I think the creator economy super interesting and probably you know, one of the big drivers of future economics globally. I think you saw it with Axie Infinity. You talk to kids now, they don't necessarily want to be lawyers. They definitely don't want to be bankers. They want to be like influencers, or they want to create content. So amazing. But I think from a corporate perspective, and you guys have been really successful at getting corporate partnerships. Obviously, we have our own views and we speak to corporates, but I'd love to hear, and I think the group would, what do you think is in it from the corporate angle? Why should they partner? Why should they spend money? Why should they invest resources in building out a Web3 channel?
Right, because as we just discussed, a lot of brands and corporations, they would like to reach some new audiences, and also they would like to engage the community of the existing customers in the form of gifting some gift to the existing clients. For example, in terms of some Web3 channels, they can give some NFT drop out to the existing clients. They can offer them with some tokens, for example. So all these are enabled by the blockchain technology, which allows digital identification and digital ownership, makes it possible. So like in the Sandbox platform, for example, like people can earn some token in here after completing some quests. And
Right. I think this is a very new area for the companies to explore about it, because Web3 is still very new. We got some concept, but I would say people is very creative to get into this environment. So they kind of at this early stage, they can explore more opportunities than what they can do for the futures. So as we said, Sandbox is a really open metaverse that we allow everyone to contribute and also input any kind of idea into this environment. So that's why I think this is why the brands and also the IPs and also the creator are very happy to join this area and then to get started with their own creations in this very early stage. I think if you guys understand or learn something about Sandbox, you still understand, still think that Sandbox, we still not providing or supporting a very complete solution on the development. But this is our roadmap. We're still on the developing. There will be a lot of upcoming features coming up, so then the creator can also grow with us, and then they can create a more attractive project, and also they can use their own right to monetize it, and then to become their own project in the futures.
Great, thank you. You know, kind of along that same line of thinking, I guess the next question is around the platforms. You know, obviously you guys have a ton of corporate clients, but then you also have really big names, like you have like Snoop Dogg, and you have Walking Dead, Steve Aoki. You have all these different less traditional type participants. So how do you think that all plays out in one platform with, on the one end, I guess someone like us, 160-year-old FTSE Bank, and on the other side, some of these other participants?
So we believe that the Sandbox allows different partners, different brands, different companies to create their own content and makes different possibilities possible. So I would like to show you guys the UGC ecosystem. UGC means user-generated content. So in the future, actually, it is the vision of the Sandbox to ensure at least 70% of the content of the Sandbox are created by UGC ecosystem. So we welcome different kinds of partners and brands and companies to create their own content on the Sandbox. And it is what the art and the good stuff of creative economy is.
We are really happy to see those brands and IP joining Sandbox. So because they are not just bringing their own IP into this metaverse, but also with their own business, a traditional business, their own behavior or their own community into this area. So with this community and then with this open metaverse area, actually brands, they can do any kind of collaboration in the futures, and then also they can leverage all the community in between. So that's mean I think this is a best way for people to get some new users and also to drive more new younger generation community to understand more about their own creations. And also because this is a gaming platform, so it's really open for everyone. They can create some gamifications and also event and also some upcoming different kind of promotion campaign in the futures with those digital access, digital identity, and also the digital ownership.
Great, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks. I guess the next piece that I'd like to delve into a bit is just the whole idea around decentralization and digital ownership. Obviously, there's a lot of different flavors of metaverse out there. The definition is still quite expansive. Not all metaverse ecosystems are focused on that decentralization and digital ownership, or some are focused on one and not the other, or some are pulling the lever harder on the user experience. I'd be really keen, since you guys do have that decentralization or the view of decentralization being important and digital ownership being at the backbone of the metaverse, it'd be really interesting to hear your views on the importance of this and how it drives future adoption.
Yeah. Digital identity and digital ownership is very important items inside the Web3 and also the open metaverse. But I would say this is still a very early stage to educate not just only users, but also the creator and also the owner itself. So such as like when we usually sharing some project ideations with those partners, they also they would need some learning to how to manage their own digital assets, how to use their own digital properties. So I think this is the way, one of the items we have to go through.
So in terms of education and adaptability, so we are very happy to have like Standard Chartered to join this arena. And apart from it, also we have a lot more commercial sectors, a partner like EXA, like PwC Hong Kong. So I believe the wider public will be more receptive to these new ideas after seeing so many big brands and partners joining this arena. So it's about the education to the wider public.
And talking about the decentralizations with compare with centralizations, so yeah, I totally agree with that. Not all the platform that they are really aiming for the fully decentralizations service. But for Sandbox, actually, to start with this project, we are already aiming that this is a decentralization open metaverse platform. But there's still a lot of sector that we need to go through with our DAO or creator in the upcoming futures. So for example, actually Sandbox is really a decentralized development platform that we just simply providing the tools for the creator. Then they can truly own those project idea, how they're gonna monetize, how they gonna publish, when they gonna when they wanna go with some marketing campaign, with their own project or offline event. So this is totally opened for the users itself to publish to their user, and also for the creator, they can have 100% rights to monetize their own creation to become an NFT or just only a drop for their community users. So this is what we are doing right now. But still, Sandbox still working very hard in developing some new tools to support this development environment, so that in the upcoming features, when Sandbox is truly open to public, I think this is you can understand more how Sandbox working on the decentralizations area.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think the decentralization aspect, we get the whole market, and this isn't a Sandbox specific criticism we get. It's actually more of a Web3 and crypto comment we get. People say it's not really that decentralized, right? Ethereum, we just go from proof of work to proof of stake. Okay, it's less decentralized. You know, oh, you have a DAO, but the majority of the DAO is owned by like 6 people. So how decentralized is that? I mean, what's your view on, I mean, do you think that that changes over time, or do you think that's okay as it stands? I mean, kind of what would be your response to that often criticism of the entire space?
Yeah, for sure, Dominic. We have similar thinking, but we believe that the Sandbox is still at a very early stage. We are still developing. So once we have established a very good fundamental, like we have a very stable user growth, user base, and well-planned procedures and rules. And then one day we will move forward and allow user-generated content to have a higher authority, higher autonomy to do whatever they want to do. But now, in terms of user-generated content, of course, there will be a review process by the Sandbox. We will read through all the content that is without any violence, any sexual content, to ensure it's a safe environment to experience on the metaverse. So that's what we have to ensure at the early stage of the Sandbox. But moving forward, yes, of course.
I would say the structure of the DAO inside Sandbox is kind of quite different with the other project. So for Sandbox, what we are aiming to create a DAO, the members of the DAO should not just only for 6 people, but for every landowners, sand holders, creators, and also the brands and the IPs. So these are the DAO to structure or to shaping the metaverse for the Sandbox. So, but still, this is we are not really setting it yet, because in our roadmap we should complete all the back-end development from our platform first. Then we go through several like the alpha seasons. That is really a showcases that what we are doing for the open metaverse, such as some play-to-earn features, how to publish your game, how to you work with your own creations. So then we believe that in the not very far, very close in the maybe next year, maybe Q2 or Q3, the structure of the DAO will be more clear about it. So I would say I don't know how the other project or metaverse they try to represent the concept about decentralizations, but we're pretty sure that Sandbox is a very clear pictures of the decentralizations.
Okay, great. Good, thank you. So I guess the other, since we're talking about market criticisms, let's talk about the other big one outside of decentralization. It's user adoption. So I'm sure, I'm sure you guys saw for sure. I'm sure many of you have. There was an article recently, and I think, people are saying there's a number of different analytics used, and people are saying that, Decentraland has daily users of like 40. You guys had a few more. I don't remember the exact number, but either way, and I'm not sure if the 40 was right for Decentraland, so let's not quote me. But the point was there are very low user numbers for all the platforms. And that obviously a lot of people have been talking about that. Like, I guess the question I have is somewhat twofold. One is, do you think they were using the right analytics? I think it was the analytics that most of them were looking at was engaging with the blockchain itself. And then number two, and more interestingly, because that one's not as interesting, the more interesting one I would say is, how do you see, or what needs to happen to get that mass adoption? So we get those numbers where there are enough people en masse to make this really compelling.
Let me answer the first question. So we believe that the figures are not as accurate. I mean, let me take a layman example. Imagine this is a shopping mall. If we just collect the information that the customers check out at the cashier counter without checking the number of the crowd, like walking around, checking the stuff, interacting with the staff, etc. So it's very underestimated without considering the other half. Like in terms of brands and corporations, they build a lot of metaverse experience on the metaverse. And this is what the metrics, the new metrics, the innovative metric that different brands and corporations have to consider. Because in terms of, for example, monthly user, monthly active user, and active user time, that might be very impressive. But in terms of NFT purchase, in terms of smart contract interaction, that might be much less than the general crowd. So I believe in the future, there have to be some innovative metrics in measuring the success on the metaverse.
Let me share you some data of Sandbox. I think this is much more easier to explain the questions about it. So up to date, Sandbox is we have already over 4 million wallet connected with our platform. So this 4 million wallet, which is in the blockchain platform, that we can always access those wallets to understand what is their transaction, how many NFT they hold, how many lands they hold. So this is very transparent. So I don't think this is the numbers that those articles mention about it. And then also, because we just finished our Alpha Season 3 by today, so this is a 2-month campaign to feature like 90 several games included. It's a open experience that for every users all over the world from. So we got last month, we got like 200,000 active users for our monthly active user records. So this is the data we can see. So we can also check every the behavior of the users. So for example, we are not really to compare with the traditional platform, we are not getting or grabbing their own identity or personal data. But we can understand more about the user behavior for how many missions they complete, how they gonna walk through your own experience, any way to persuade them to get your own NFT with your own NFT collection drop or any kind of new users. because of that, they join to your social media platforms such as Discord or to become your new community. So this kind of data, we can always check it, and all is also very transparent. So this is to compare with the Web2 area and the Web3 area. We believe that there will have some new measurement about the data behavior, the user behavior, and also the new analytics like package for the futures. So this is what we are doing right now. To compare with the other metaverse, I would say we have to see. For example, like if there's some specific event for Decentraland, I'm pretty sure they will get a lot of users at the same time. So it all depends on when they're gonna measure it and how they're gonna measure it.
Great, thanks. We've come almost to our half an hour quite quickly, but I wanted to talk briefly on Hong Kong. Right, we're in Hong Kong. We're at the Hong Kong FinTech Week. Obviously, Hong Kong's a very important city for TSB. Very important for Animoca. You're a big investor. So with the news yesterday from government, obviously really positive signaling that they're looking to support Hong Kong as a Web3 hub. What's your view on kind of the local metaverse ecosystem and how it grows in the near term?
Well, we have observed a large turnout in Hong Kong, in the Greater China region, in terms of user base, in terms of user growth. And in fact, in the Greater China region, we have the most user base in the Sandbox platform for the Greater China region. And we also see a lot of creators, not only in Hong Kong, but also in China and Taiwan. And they have a lot of community engagement within the creators group. And then they constantly have a lot of creation, publishing on the Sandbox platform. So we see that it is really promising. The drive and growth in this region is growing very well, and we are sure that it's having momentum and going upside.
So you can see since this year, we brings a lot of IPs and partners inside Sandbox area. So all of these partners, they are not just only purchase their own digital properties to hold it, but just like Standard Chartered Bank, they also have their own creations and target to publish to the users. Maybe the Q1 next year. So this is what we can do. We are looking for we are not just only aiming for partnership and IPs, but at the same time, we also have a very good number of growth in users because of they enjoying the game, and also to understand more about the NFT culture, and also to know more about play to earn. At the same time, we are putting a lot of effort to grow the creator. This is one of the very important growth for us in the specific market. In Greater China area, the upcoming direction that we want to do is not just only having new partners, but but for sure, new partners is very important for us. But at the same time, we also setting up a lot of education program to grow more creator. We work with some university education associations because to create something inside Sandbox, you don't really necessary to have a very good 3D skill or a coding skill. Actually, we are a non-coding space, and also to create some voxel is just like you building some digital Lego. So I think maybe next year we would like to bring more education program to grow more educator, then to grow more creator. Then you can see this creator, they will become the metaverse developer in the futures. So then there will be a lot of project and a lot of career, and also they will have their own project, and also maybe they can collaborate with the big IP, the big brands, and also they can become one of the members inside these projects. So this is what we are aiming to do for the Greater China area.
Great, thank you guys. So we are at time, but I just wanted to ask, you obviously Alpha 3 just wrapping up. Big deal for you guys. Congrats.
Yeah.
I know a lot of work.
Thank you.
A lot of work. So what's next? What's next on what can we all expect from you guys? Maybe give us a sneak peek. What are you guys going to roll out next? What's the plan?
Okay, so you can see we already can get started with some special event, not just only ride on our seasons. So this is one of the update that we are doing for our partners. So we're looking for Standard Chartered experience will be launched soon, and also the next big update we are more target on the concert features. So maybe the first concert inside the metaverse will be coming up on Q1 next year. So this is what we are target for, and also there will be some regional special event will be coming up. And also, as I mentioned, we are not just only focused on gaming. We will have some upcoming public land sale in the maybe next week, announcement next week. We will have some new announcement. Maybe that will be a very special public land sale campaign to ride on some different category. And also we will film that maybe with some special regions. So please stay tuned for our update. And also we will, as mentioned, we will have a lot of education program coming up. So this is what we are doing in the upcoming several months, I would say.
All right, great. Well, look, we're at time. So first, thank you both for coming by and sharing with us. We really appreciate it. Great to see you guys. And I've been speaking to them for a year, so first time I actually saw them in person. So that's great. And thank you all for coming to the booth and taking the time. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.